We are live now, Dr.
All right. Thank you so much. So, we'll start the proceedings now. And good evening, respected mentors, distinguished faculty, and dear colleagues. So, on behalf of the Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society, uh, as a secretary, it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this first online module of our leadership development program. This initiative is very close to our hearts. As ophthalmologists, we are trained to diagnose, to operate, to heal. But there is something beyond that leadership, the ability to inspire teams, build institutions. That sometimes requires more of a skill honing than what we are usually used to. So, through this structured program, MOS wants to cultivate not only excellent clinicians but confident leaders for our profession. So we are deeply honored to have with us the stalwarts of our profession, Dr. Mahipal Sajdev, Dr. Gaurav Luthra, Dr. Anaga Herur, and Dr. Ramamurthy, who have not only been excellent clinicians, but they have carved a separate path for themselves. And this will be very ably moderated by our own dynamic duo, Dr. Gitanjali Sharma and Dr. Anamika Agarwal. To all our participants, I would say this is the beginning of a transformative journey. So I encourage you to engage actively, reflect, and make most of the insights shared by these four very dynamic people. So let's together start this journey. I thank you and I wish you all a very enriching first module. So, on to you, Dr. Anagha.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Preeti, for the warm welcome and warm welcome to one and all. I'll just share my presentation. Yes. Is my presentation visible?
Not yet.
One.
Yeah,
Yes,
now.
ma'am.
Now it is, yes.
Just a minute. Yes. Yes, a very warm welcome to one and all here today and to our respected panelists, Dr. Maipal sir, Dr. Ramurthy sir, Dr. Gaurav sir. Thank you so much for being a part of our program. Very warm welcome to all our MOS lead participants. This year we have had a record 38 participants in this MOS LDP program. So friends, this is not just the beginning of an academic initiative. I just want to say a few words on this MOS lead. So over the years, MOS has been very active in strengthening clinical excellence, academic meets, scientific advancements amongst the MOS members. So friends, we create exceptional surgeons, great clinicians, we nurture sharp scientific minds. But as we reflected on our profession, we found one thing that was becoming increasingly clear, and that is there is a leadership gap that is very clear in our medical education. And MOS lead was conceived from this realization. Most of us were never formally prepared or trained for these roles. As a result, what happens is all of us as doctors become leaders or become our entrepreneurs in our roles only by trial and error, sometimes under pressure and sometimes at a personal cost. So this leadership gap does not reflect that there's a lack of capability, but it reflects a lack of structured leadership training that is designed specifically for doctors. So MOS lead was aimed to bridge this gap. Technical excellence is definitely essential, but in today's healthcare environment, it's no longer just enough because a technically brilliant ophthalmologist may struggle if his team is disengaged, if communication is unclear, if systems are inefficient, and if conflicts remain unresolved, if vision is not there. So it is this leadership which will determine whether a department thrives or merely functions. Friends, simply put, technical skills help you to treat patients, but leadership skills help you to build systems that treat thousands. So today I'd like you to uh, listen to a very small story. There was a man, an 85-year-old gentleman, who was planting a tree. And somebody who was passing by laughed at him and said, "You're almost 85. You're planting this mango tree and you will never be able to eat the fruit." He looked at him and said, "Friend, I've eaten mangoes from plants or trees that I have never planted. That, friends, is leadership. So, great leaders plant trees whose shade they may never sit under. Why leadership now? It's basically that today we have healthcare that is evolving so rapidly, technology that is advancing so much. So, we must be future prepared. We have our leaders, and we don't want our leaders to develop by accident. They must be cultivated just like trees. Vision before position. We may have a tenure that may last us a year, but our vision will give direction to people even beyond our tenure. So we must look beyond our personal growth or immediate recognition. So, what MOS lead stands for is making or developing leaders who are self aware, who are emotionally intelligent, who can communicate clearly, who can collaborate well and with dignity, and who will put the institution above their individual. Because the future of MOS will not be defined just by surgical excellence, but also by leadership excellence. So, friends, I leave you with a question today. What are we planting today? Because the true measure of leadership is not how long we sit in the chair, but how strong the institution stands even after we leave it. And MOS Lead is our commitment to plant trees today so that the next generation can sit in stronger shade. So let's be leaders who create not just followers, but more leaders. खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Dr. Gitanjali,
Yeah,
thank you so much for this. And Dr. Gitanjali and Dr. Anamika have been our coordinators. Uh, I'd like you to now begin our panel discussion, please.
sure. Thank you very much, Dr. Anaka. That was an excellent beginning. Very inspirational speech as always. And I'm so happy most of the participants have joined now. And I take this opportunity to welcome our visionary leaders, visionary panelists for today, because their guidance is going to help our participants a lot. I myself am Dr. Gitanjali Sharma. I'm the ophthalmologist from Pune, and I'm the past president of POS, Pune Ophthalmological Society. And presently, I'm the vice president of Indian Medical Association Pune and joint secretary of Indian Medical Association, Maharashtra State. May I request Anamika? Are you there, Anamika? Yeah, please unmute yourself, Anamika.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
And I also request Dr. Preeti, can you just, for all participants, of course, we know all the visionary panelists of today, but if you can just in 2 lines introduce them and welcome them.
Actually, they are such well-known personalities of our Indian Ophthalmic Society, AIOS, that they really don't require any. That's why I didn't sort of take time over it. Dr. Mahipal Sajdev, he's created
Yes.
his own path. He's inspirational. He was the first to pioneer the Center for Sight group. Even Dr. Ramamurthy has done so in the southern part of our country. Dr. Gaurav Luthra, again in the northern part, and of course, Dr. Anaga Hirur in our western part of Maharashtra. And for each of them, there is one, I think, flower. So, virtually,
Yes.
please accept this as a token. We
Thank
design,
you.
you know,
Thank
when
you.
So
we
this
raise
is
to
for you.
honor people.
Thank you.
And that was a wonderful initiative, Dr. Gitanjali.
Yeah,
Very
thank
nice.
you. So these are special roses for all of you. And I start with today's panel discussion with one single question to all the panelists, starting from Dr. Mahipal sir.
Can we have just a minute? Can we all the participants have their videos on, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So I've got even roses for all participants as well. So this is all roses for you. So please start your videos. And
Thank you.
I want all smiles on faces of everybody. There is no exam, nothing. Please be smiling. Okay. So I'll start with the first question, which is a common question to all 4 panelists, starting with Dr. Mahipal sir. What are the 2 best qualities a leader should have?
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for having me here. So, from a point of view of two best qualities, I think one is being able to nurture, and the second, I would say, is a vision of being able to see what is possibly invisible to others. So, these are the two qualities that a person should have, that you should have the ability to see the future and also to nurture a team that, to begin with, what Dr. Naga said, should survive beyond you.
So beautifully he has explained. So that's how we describe the great leaders. Leaders are not different, but they do differently. He said he should have the vision, which others are not able to see, but he can see. That's how a leader does it differently. Over to you, Dr. Luthra, sir. What is your idea about leadership qualities? The best two leadership qualities.
So I think, I would, become so small in front of Dr. Mahipal sir and Ramamurthy sir, whom I actually look up to as the true leaders of Indian ophthalmology, and of course, Anaga, who's done such an amazing job. Yet I feel that leadership requires, you could be leading an organization, you could be leading an association. There are so many ways to lead, right? So first thing is that always lead by example. So that's one thing which is important, that if you want everybody to come along with you, lead by example. And number two, I think another quality which is important is to be able to listen more than you speak. So maybe if you can listen to everyone and understand, and then of course what sir said takes you forward. These are two other qualities which are very important. Otherwise we end up sometimes enjoying speaking so much that we don't even listen to or understand what others are thinking about, and that becomes difficult.
That's very true, sir. Very true. Over to you, Ramurthy, sir.
Oh, I think, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. This is exactly what Gaurav said was what was in my mind, leading by example. I think that's extremely important because, whether it's your spouse or your peers or your children or your staff, they can't be better than you. So, we have to be constantly be aware that they are watching you, and what you do is what they are going to emulate. And second is, I would say, the pursuit of excellence. Always, it's not just the way you market yourself or the way you do your surgeries, but as far as you try to excel in everything that you do. And secondly, that's an example that your staff is going to follow, your whole team is going to follow. Overall, you are going to build a great institution.
Yes, that's great. So everybody is looking at you. When you are a leader, everybody is going to follow you. Over to you, Dr. Anagha, your ideas.
So my thoughts are, see, first thing is, I feel that we should never quit. I mean, life is not going to be a bed of roses. It's not going to be an easy path at all. There are going to be times when you think that it's so difficult that I should just probably, not pursue it at all. But to remain consistent and persistent and continue the hard work in spite of failures is something which is so important for us to go on. That is number one. And second is, no leader can succeed on his own. So it's very important to take each member of the team along. And we also need to remember that each member of the team is also not going to be as passionate about work as we do. So there are going to be people of different backgrounds, of different hard-working abilities, capabilities. So each person has his own place in the team, and to take the entire team along is a very uphill task. But that, with our grit and determination, should be what a leader should be.
Yes. So howsoever tough it is, one has to take the challenges. So कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती. Now let me invite Anamika. Anamika will be interactive. You will have to carry out the interactive session now. Anamika and myself, we both are the LDP alumni of AIOS. So over to you, Anamika, now.
Thank you, Gitanjali Madam. Myself, Dr. Anamika Agrawal. I am professor in St. GS Medical College, KM Hospital, and I'm blessed to be the part of this wonderful team. And I'm so excited to have all the stalwart leaders in front of me and me moderating and asking them questions. So as a homework, it was given, and we have lots of questions of our participants. My first question, Dr. Abhidnya, participant, her question to Dr. Mahipal Sachdev is, what is one leadership myth young doctors should stop believing? Dr. Mahipal, sir.
Uh, One leadership myth I would say that people have to stop maybe no free lunches in life, and nothing comes without hard work. And the only important thing is that uh, it's not if you are overtly cautious on everything and you don't even get started, you can never be a leader. So there is going to be the antithesis of success and risk. So being a leader, I think you can't be on the normal treaded path. You have to be different, and you need to be actually uh, taking some risks rather than a cautious path throughout. So if you are actually on just a cautious path, you will never be able to be a distinct uh, individual and then an organization, and leaving behind something once you are not there on the scene. And that is also part of leadership, that you have to pass on the baton.
Very nicely put up, sir. Don't give up, as said by Anaga madam, and take risk. Don't get scared to take risk. So nicely said. The next question is to Dr. Ramurthy, sir, from Dr. Abhidnya again. What does Indian ophthalmology need most from the next generation of leaders, according to you, sir?
I think it will be the ability to put together the science and commerce of ophthalmology together. The two cannot be separated. The techniques and technologies available, and all of our youngsters are mastering on that. And it's not just the tier one cities, but even across India, excellent work is being done. But all of it comes at a price, and the turnover of churning of equipments, instruments, consumables is so high in ophthalmology that there is a lot of cost involved. So essentially, you can set up systems so that you can offer the best of quality to your patients, but at the same time, be commercially successful. Oftentimes, especially when someone invests a lot on a new equipment or a new center, they have a tendency to cut corners. They think that, I have to pay back my EMIs, my dues as fast as possible. But as far as you lay a great foundation and build upon it, and it's essentially the word of mouth and excellent satisfaction of your patients, it pays off. Sometimes you have to integrate your practice with others or join a group so that there's optimal utilization of equipment. So going forward, I think excellent technology is available, excellent ability is there, but at the same time combining the same so that it could be offered to our public in commercially viable manner would be the way forward.
Very nicely put up, sir. Very nice point brought up. Now over to Gitanjali, madam.
Yeah, I would take this point ahead to Dr. Luthra, sir, because sir said, commerce and science both should be together. I want to ask, how do you balance academic excellence, ethics, and entrepreneurship? Because nowadays, most of the ophthalmologists are into entrepreneurship. So how do you balance that?
In fact, ma'am, thank you for asking that question. It's a very nice question. And actually, I think they all go hand in hand. When I started working in a very small clinic, and I just started maybe about 27, 25 years back, I was thinking whether I should take the path of academics, or whether I should take the path of, starting an individual practice. And I always used to think that the two probably don't go hand in hand. Either I'll become a small practitioner, or I can get into a faculty position in the college. And I did have a lot of passion for both teaching and academics as well. So how to blend the three? So I think actually getting into a practical practice kind of a setup where you start your practice and then you grow into a slightly bigger practice, into a group practice. It actually allows you more opportunity to do everything else that you would aspire to do in a more easy way, because then you are kind of having more time, resources, and everything to balance out all the three. So frankly, I try to be as actively involved in academics and research as I can, and I do get the opportunity because of the practice that I was able to establish with the help of my colleagues. So I think if we have if we entrepreneurship brings about more opportunities because it brings you more time. If you're well organized as a leader and you don't try to micromanage everything yourself, you have definitely more time, and you can create a better environment because you have more financial resources to set up more research activities. You can invest more in equipments, and you can also invest and spend more time in academics. So I think the three can very well go hand in hand. They are not exclusive to each other.
And I think all four of you have those success stories. Exactly. Like you, all four of you are doing academics as well as entrepreneurship perfectly with research. So over to you, Dr. Anaga, madam. My question is, especially being a woman, you have all these things like academics, like research, like entrepreneurship, but also you have to look after the family, home. So how do you balance everything, and how do you manage your time?
Thank you
And
so much. And
I must tell you, over here, there are more women participants in this year's LDP. So this question is more important.
yes, yes, very, very true. And as a woman, I feel, we go through different phases in life. We need to be very clear at each phase what exactly we want, and we need to have our priorities correct. Like, for example, doctor who has just finished her fellowship, her priority would be different from somebody who has completed 20 years of practice. So, at each stage of your career, your thoughts, your vision will be different. So, for somebody who is just finished fellowship, and also at the same time in your personal life, you would be starting family life at the same time. So, and as a female, automatically it becomes your personal responsibility to take care of the family. At that point of time in your life, both are important, your career as well as your personal life. It all depends on the situation, how supportive your family is to you, if you want to have a greater academic or a greater entrepreneur kind of vision. Now, assuming you have a good family support, and I think people who are women who today believe in nuclear families and refuse to look after their families, also have to, lose the benefit of the family taking care of them. So you need to take your family along with you because and share your vision with your family so that they become more supportive. Now, once you do that, then you need to first think for yourself whether you are more interested in academics or entrepreneurship. And see, once you have a good hold on your practice and you have financial independence and some kind of confidence in yourself, definitely academics will be there because clinically you're good and you have also had a good kind of training. So you need to give a particular time. So time management becomes very important. So out of your 24 hours, you need to give some time for family, some time for academics, and major chunk for your own practice. So I think once you learn the art of time management and having your priorities right, it becomes easier. But it is a tightrope walk. No matter what you do, there are always going to be times where you feel that you feel guilty of not giving quality time to your kids or to your family. So I think uh, one thing we need to remember: you cannot please everyone.
Okay, okay.
You have
That's
to remember that you cannot please everyone. And for being able to take care of family as well as your organization, first thing is you have to be at peace. You have to be at peace with whatever you are doing. So if you are at home and you're thinking of your office, and if you are at office and you're thinking about home, that's being unjust to both.
yeah.
Whatever you are doing, you give your full focus at that point of time. So it's better to manage your time, and at each point of time give full focus at that point of time. There will be times when the family needs more attention, times when the hospital needs more attention. But if you take everybody along and share your vision and difficulties, I think maybe that will be a better way to.
Yeah, I think as a leader, you have to develop teams. So develop team, a great team at home as well.
Yes.
So once you develop a great team at home and great team in the hospital, it becomes easier. Okay, over to you, Anamika, for the...
Yes. Thank you, Gitanjali madam. Mahipal sir's Center for Sight you see everywhere. And sir, we are so inspired with that. So one question to you from one of our participants is, how do one choose core team and nurture it? And also how to still make such each one getting recognized at the same time? It's a very difficult task. And how do you do that, sir?
Well, I think I would take the example of what Ram said, and that is that basically excellence is not just a destination, but I think it's a continuous journey that would never end. So right from the beginning, the issue for Center for Sight was to when you made a core team, the core team essentially of Center for Sight was built on excellence, on super specialization, on technology and trust. So what we say today, trust, technology, and talent. That was essentially the core principles and the fundamentals on which we started to make the team. And the team was kind of handpicked. You have to make others believe in your vision. And that is what we were able to successfully do when I had people of various super specialties leave RP Center and join Center for Sight. It was a small beginning that we had, obviously an intelligence that came into this thing, and an opportunity, I would say, which came to us was the setting up of Indraprastha Apollo Hospital at that time in Delhi. And lo and behold, I joined Indraprastha Apollo in middle of March, and by July I had done the cataract of Dr. Pratap Reddy. So I could get anything moved in Indraprastha Apollo Hospital. And obviously, that was an opportunity cost that was available to me. And these doctors, the great people like Dr. Harsh Kumar, Lalit Verma, Dinesh Talwar, etc., I was able to get them a consultancy at Indraprastha Apollo Hospital and also join Center for Sight. So that's a opportunity cost that came because I was able to get them another place apart from, because Center for Sight was just a fledgling kind of a organization at that particular time, and asking somebody to leave a secure job from All India Institute. Today there are 23 All India Institutes of Medical Sciences, but in our time there was only one All India Institute of Medical Sciences, and all of them were what I would wish to say blue-blooded or thoroughbred Amazonians, starting from MBBS to post-graduation to senior residency, and then were faculty. So that was how the core team was actually established, and a lot of persuasion and a lot of risk from my point that whatever possibly the salary they were getting at AIMS, I doubled it up and I said I will risk it. And I know that this is going to happen. So that was a risk-taking ability. Not that I had a generational previous legacy of a practice that was happening. It was de novo, good middle class background, mother being a doctor, father being an engineer, but nothing into practice as such. And that was the thing, that it was the self belief that I had that we would be able to kind of succeed in this particular arena by having super specialists on board. So we got super specialists on board and gave them the freedom to do whatever, because they were better than me in their super specialization. I can't say that I know retina better than, say, Lalit or Dinesh, or I know glaucoma better than Harsh, etc., etc., and then kept on adding those. What was being frowned upon at that particular time was to actually try and get the top guys out of institutions across India. So mine was not that I had a plan in mind that I will open a center at X place or Y place or Z place, but wherever I found a good individual whom I thought could move the needle, we would open a center there. Just to give an example, Dr. Mukesh Sharma, for example, in Jaipur was an SMS Medical College. And they had a connection with me in the sense that they were with RP Center. They were possibly my residents at that particular time. Some people had written their thesis with me. etc., etc. So then look, say Santosh Hanover, Ajit Babu, you look at Neeraj Khungar. So basically, wherever I got an opportunity, but the key point was a great guy, a great ophthalmologist, and then put up an organization or a center for him or behind him, so that he could use his talent maximally, and they're being able to believe in our story, obviously giving them ESOPs, etc., etc. So that is how the core team was built, and that was the core team for doctors. Now, once you had the core team for doctors, you were also supposed to, at that particular time, look at being able to do the operations bit and the management bit, and to get people outside of ophthalmology to help you. So I was possibly the first to actually hire a COO, or get a CEO, or get somebody, or have a division. For example, I asked my wife to leave her secure government job, and she would look after the operations. And my this thing was give clinical excellence, give the work, and also to get the patients into center of a site. So a clear division or demarcation, give the best service to the patient who comes in. And then we obviously kept on professionalizing, got somebody from GE Capital, ABN AMRO as my CFO, got somebody from Bosch and Lomb as COO, etc., etc. And I made some mistakes with the hiring of the people, but the idea was to have core competent people for various arms of what we call today a business. Ophthalmology is just one part of it, but being able to run at that particular time, we were able to again get the technology which was not available elsewhere, and which I thought would work, whether it be phacoemulsification, and us being called as mavericks when we started doing phacoemulsification. I still remember articles being written in Times of India saying that we are mavericks, and we are doing phacoemulsification, which causes complications like wound burns, like iris chaffing, nucleus dropping in, etc., etc. But then you have to be steadfast on your thought process as to whether this is the technology of future. And then LASIK, I think what Ram is today also, a lot of it goes to his being able to set up the Zyoptics machine, I think possibly the first in India, etc., etc. So that was the technology, hiring of technology, taking a loan to get the technology, etc. So what I said, talent, multifaceted talent was the next thing, that is getting the various other aspects of the business, taking loans and getting technology into it, and then promoting that particular thing. But one thing is that you have to, at any given time, be conscious of the fact that you are on a treadmill, and you have to keep on reinventing yourself, and to keep on doing processes and things which others are possibly not doing at that particular time, and being and project yourself as a particular leader. And culture, you have to develop a culture of entrepreneurship, and that is what you have to feed yourself with on your breakfast table every day, as to what is strategy. Strategy is going to be something, a constant that you have to have. So finally, that's all that I will say. Talent, multifaceted talent, whether it be on various things. Delegation, sorry, is another thing that I have to say. Delegation of the duties to individuals. And I would say, yes, I have led from the front, but ultimately you have to have people who have to be brighter than you to lead you. So they say
Right.
that if you enter a room and you have pig heads, or you are the brightest guy in the room, you are at the wrong place. So you have to have people who ultimately have to be brighter than you, and you have to develop them to make them brighter. Like today, we have people, I know very little about digital marketing. I know very little about IT processes on use of AI, etc., etc. Like for various other things, I knew very little about other specialities within outside of cataract, refractive, and cornea. So those are the kind of things, if you say. And then never be afraid of nurturing people, because that was the other question that was asked, that you have a network and you're able to. So get KOLs made, uh, key opinion leaders, that's what I say, across the board. never feel that they will dwarf you. That is the biggest antithesis for growth. That you will never, you people don't, it's like a banyan tree, you don't let others grow below you. So you give them the full freedom, you give them the opportunity, you give them the podium presence, you give them whatever they want. Uh, because if they grow, your organization will grow much more than that. So don't be afraid of making people grow. They will come and they could come and leave. That's fine. Even if they leave, it is not possible that if they have grown, the organization would not have grown. So that is something that you should just leave behind, a risk-taking ability to make others grow. There is nothing, you shouldn't be afraid of that particular thing. So I think maybe these are the concoctions that I have.
Great.
And also believe in your gut, in your feeling as to what is going to succeed, and try to see what is the future, where the future lies, that and adapting and readapting and inventing and reinventing and throwing away what is old, which may not be of any use tomorrow.
That's great, sir. Fantastic. So
Ve-
basically, what he said, Anamika, was developing new leaders, developing a team, and every team member find the qualities and develop into a leader. But just one small thing, what he mentioned, I want to take this question to Ramurthy, sir. He mentioned that people used to criticize also. When you do something new, there are people criticizing you. So, sir, how do you deal with such criticism? And this is mainly for these youngsters, because even if many of them want to do something new, there might be some criticism, and in today's era with social media, one is scared of that. So how do you deal with that criticism?
One thing is, please don't ask a question to Maipal and then ask me to follow that, because he covers everything. So, so well said, Maipal, and I truly
So I'll
resonate
sign
with
off.
all. No, I resonate with everything that he said, and I think um, as far as your specific question is concerned, I think it's he already covered that. That in the sense that you have to go by your gut feeling. Oftentimes, you come across a situation where a nice property is available where you can set up a clinic, or hire a clinic, or even buy a clinic and set it up. But people around you tell you that, this might be too expensive. Yours, tier 2 or a tier 3 town cannot afford this, so stay away from it. They take their advice, and then subsequently we find that 5 years later, some chain has come and occupy the space, and that's opportunity lost. So if your gut feeling tells you, market research will always tell you why you should not be doing a certain thing. It will never tell you why you should be doing a certain thing. So if your gut feeling tells you that you have a good hope that this is going to succeed, you are confident of it, go ahead and do it. Of course, you have to listen to others, not be foolhardy, but at the same time, unless there is a certain amount of calculated risk-taking capability, you're not going to move forward and succeed in life. And secondly, this again applies to equipments also. I think, as Maipal mentioned, I would like to enlighten this with a example. It was the year 1997, and Arvind Eye Hospital came to Coimbatore that year. And people are actually telling me, because of the humongous success in Madurai, that you may not have much left over. You might have to leave town or join them. That was exactly the year we invested $500,000 and bought an exam laser machine. And nowadays you find exam laser machines in every street corner. But 30 years back, for us two people practice to go ahead and invest in that technology, whenever, especially when a large institution is coming into town, was considered to be foolhardy. He said, how are you going to meet these AMIs? How are you going to manage this? But I'm telling you, once we took that risk, somehow it resonated with me. This is the technology of the future. This is going to succeed. It was not patients who came to us only for refractive surgery. They came to us for refraction. They came to us for cataract surgery. They came to our retinal surgery, simply because we had something more to offer. So differentiating yourself is extremely important. So definitely listen to others, but at the same time, listen to your inner voice, whether it's investment on a particular individual, equipment, or infrastructure, and most often you will be successful.
That's great, sir. So सबकी सुनो पर करो अपने मन की, and
बिल्कुल.
that inner voice has to be there. You have to listen to your inner voice. Dr. Luthra, sir, when you started, did you have a clear blueprint? This is a question from our participant. Clear blueprint, like where you will be after 5 years or after 10 years?
That's again a good question. And frankly, while I did not have a blueprint of what I am today, 25 years back, where I would be, yet I did have a clear idea in mind. I wanted to excel. So when I started, I was doing a senior residency in Maulana Azad Medical College in Delhi. And even a year before I was going to get out of my senior residency, I knew that I used to see only two people in Delhi doing FACO. One was Maipal sir, and this was the year I think 96 or 97, and maybe Dr. Dada and maybe Dr. Naushid and maybe Dr. Harbans. There were three, four people only. My own institution was not yet even offering FACO. We had just started learning SICS when Blumenthal visited India somewhere in 95 or something. And I did know very surely that I wanted to go back to my hometown and start a practice there. My father was working with a government organization and he was he did not have a private practice at all. So just about a year or two before I was supposed to come, he kind of took a retirement and opened a small clinic independently for me. So I had to start my independent practice, not with my father actually. So I wanted to excel, in whatever I was doing. So I was passionate about my specialty. So I decided that I wanted to learn FACO. And even before I had even touched a FACO machine, I invested in a microscope and a FACO machine, and ordered it in preparation for the fact that I'm going to go. I went out and figured out that I had to learn FACO somehow. I was good in SICS. So I knew that to succeed, I will have to grow, and technology is going to get me there, and staying up with the times. So I wasn't scared of taking that risk, as Dr. Maipal sir and Dr. Ramamurthy sir have mentioned. I wanted to do the best that was possible and what was coming up. So always look at the future. And in fact, these are some qualities I've learned from some of the seniors that I've been associated with, that always look ahead and then try to have that gut feeling that this is the thing that is going to succeed, and that little bit of risk taking ability. So I did have that vision in mind, to answer your question, that I want to succeed. I want to do well in my surgical and academic environments. I wanted to grow in academics as well. And then, of course, I always had this dream of, making a group practice. So even when I started off, there were hardly very few group practices in the country. Most were all individual practices or institutionalized practices. So even when I started with the goal that I'm not going to do everything, even though luckily during my senior residency, I was trained in retina and oculoplasty and glaucoma. So I was doing trabs, I was doing squints, and I was doing oculoplasty, and I was doing surgical retina. So I was actually doing everything. I started off a medical retina division in Dehradun when I started practice with a fundus camera and a green laser, which was the first ones in town. So in the sense that I knew that I don't want to stick with all of them. So within about 4 or 5 years, I was able to, have some doctors join in with me. One doctor joined up with for retina, and another one I convinced somebody to visit from Delhi to do our glaucoma, so the specialty work. So in that sense, our team kept growing right from the second or third year. So in that sense, I did have a direction, but I would not, say that I knew where I would be like 10 years later or 20 years later. That's like looking too far. And I think you should plan for the next 5 years and have a goal, of course. But I think true leaders, maybe Maipal sir already, I remember meeting him even at his first center in Safdarjung Enclave, and he had a very clear vision. I credit him with that, and his gut feeling has been a very, very strong one. He's, a visionary, and he can kind of look ahead, and he knows what is going to succeed and what is not going to succeed. For that, I give him all credit, and so as well, Dr. Ramamurthy sir, and it's wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Anamika.
Yes, thank you, Gitanjali madam. The next question is to Anaga madam. Okay, madam, just taking this discussion ahead, as leaders, one has to take discussion for the group. But what if one realizes that that decision has not worked in favor? Then how do you handle such situations?
Very, very good question. Actually, see, so many times we take decision out of our gut feeling or because we think something would work. But I feel whether or not you have succeeded with that particular thought, if it has not succeeded, I feel the best is to first sit and analyze where you went wrong and own up the responsibility. So it's not that just because it has not succeeded, we point fingers at somebody else and say, because you didn't do so and so thing, this didn't succeed. That should something which should not be done, in my opinion. If my decision has been wrong, I would own up to it and say yes. For example, even if it's a small thing like maybe of shouted at some staff, and you never knew that that person was not really the person responsible, there is absolutely no shame in going back and telling that person that I'm sorry I said this to you, but I didn't mean it and this was in a different thing or whatever it is. So to own up to, okay, this thought was wrong. And another thing is, just because there is a failure doesn't mean that you cannot think again. That should be taken as a stepping stone. So there was a very good video which I put on our group also, where this actually celebrated failures.
Yes, I
So,
remember that.
so failures are the stepping stone to success. Like Thomas Edison failed 2000 times before he actually invented the one. So that means, and he actually said that I found 2000 ways of not doing a particular thing. So if one thing has not worked, best thing is to analyze it, where what went wrong, and then correct it instead of pointing fingers or trying to blame somebody or feeling bad about it or feeling guilty about it. We should just move on and overcome that. That is what I feel.
Very well said, Anaga madam. Take up the responsibility and analyze. Perfect. The next question is for Ram Murthy sir. What do young ophthalmologists or new surgeons usually underestimate these days in your view, sir? Ram Murthy sir?
Yeah. I think they underestimate the competition that they might face, in the sense that, they often are coming from institutions, from maybe private institutions where they have worked, or they are in a sheltered government institutions. They are there. They have access to all the equipment, technology, and they think patients are just waiting for it to be seen. So they feel that this is what is going to happen. Sometimes it's not that everyone does that mistake, but sometimes they invest too heavily on equipment. This might be slightly counter to what I said earlier, where I said calculated risk taking. So basically, if you want to start a practice with an excimer laser machine, with a femtolastic, like some of the youngsters aspire for, unless they have a father or a father-in-law with very deep pockets and established practice, is different. But if they're starting off on their own, it should be a step-by-step approach, where obviously, as Gaurav said, having a very modern setup where the patients are very comfortable, and having a phacoemulsification system, a good operating microscope, not necessarily the top end models, but at least the mid level where they're confident of giving good results. And going on in a stepwise manner, once you start seeing 50 patients a day, maybe get one more colleague to get employed, then get an opticals in-house, get a pharmacy in-house, because these are supporting your practice. These are not scientific additions, but they make your practice wholesome and commercially successful. And then subsequently, when you are ready, you are starting 100, 120 patients, you're doing a good amount of premium intraocular lenses, then you are ready for a refractive surgical practice. Maybe get in a vitreoretinal colleague who can come and operate. Then the only way you can expand is by bringing in getting more people involved, either at the level of ophthalmologists, optometrists, or as well as managers. And once you do that, then the progression has to be stepwise. Don't uh, swallow more than what you can chew. That would be my strong advice to the young ophthalmologists who are aspiring to start a practice.
Yes, I think they have really got the correct advice from Dr. Ramurthy sir. My next question is to all of you. If I'm not wrong, the next generation of yours is also in ophthalmology. So do you compare yourself, or do you learn from them, or do you feel, no, what we did was more better than them? So yes, sir, Maipal sir, you can start.
The first thing that I'll just wish to say is for youngsters or for whether you're talking about the next generation or whatever, the runway for individual brilliance that was available 30 years ago or 20 years ago is not going to be available today. It may change things, but the individual brilliance, because technology is a great leveler. Okay. Now, technology is going to be available for a cost to anybody. So that is a problem, that the runway for individual brilliance and individual success in a mastery of a technique of such
Yes.
is not going to be available or is not available until to you today. If you are in a tier one, a metro, etc., etc., maybe if you are going to a tier three city, etc., there you could kind of have a situation where maybe others are not there. So that you have to keep in mind. The second thing for youngsters, which I will wish to say, is that I, for example, in the year 2010, was among the first few to take private equity.
Okay.
Private equity, I don't know how much of cajoling and this and convincing I had to give to Ram and things like that, but he's taken it now. But it is not it's a matter of things that are going to happen in the future. 2008 or 9, I don't remember, 2006 or 7 was my first joint venture that I entered into with Dr. Ratan Prohit from Jodhpur. I may be wrong, but it's more than 16, 17 years. At that particular time also, there was a hesitancy for people to go ahead and do that, or the others were not looking at that particular thing. Uh, so therefore, for youngsters, I am just wanting to give a word of caution. Ram gave a word of caution of over investing in something. That's what happened for people who may think that today, putting up a LASIK, as Ram said, is in every gully kucha. Everybody has an access to a LASIK today. So putting up a phaco, no brains. Uh, Putting up a 25 gauge vitrectomy, etc., etc. So the options today, what are available, until of course something new comes in, and I think AI is going to be more disruptive and a greater leveler. It's going to democratize things much more than what has happened over the last 25, 30 years. So the people have to be pretty careful and cognizant that the atmosphere, the environment, and the whole firmament has changed dramatically. Individual brilliance has to give way to collective leadership, to collective growth, and that is what you have to have, and that is what is required. Now, you talked about the next generation. My next generation, one is with Ram, so he knows what best to do with my next generation. But my elder daughter today has felt the need that it is equally important for, or more important today, that she feels that rather than being an ophthalmologist, she has done her 1 year leadership program and MBA from INSEAD. So uh, that, and I know she's much more brilliant than I am in those particular thought process, in future thinking, in being able to crystallize. For example, I thought uh, that I should, like a success of Lenskart, be opening just optical stores. She opposed me tooth and nail. And later I realized that that's a different ball game, and I withdrew from that. So that's brilliance. That's what Warren Buffett said. Do not be afraid to just do not diversify into too much, because if you are diversifying, you don't have faith in your core competence or in the business that you are running. So, what I'm just saying is that the next generation is going to be brighter, more brilliant than things, but they have to be adaptive to the changing scenario, which is there, which has evolved, and it is going to change much faster, I would say, over the next couple of years than what it is. And yes, they would be able to, I suppose, do better than what we have. And the growth trajectory, if it is maintained, we should be much bigger than what we are today.
Ramurthy sir, do you wish to add something?
Yeah, I think, one thing I would like to say is that please don't plan anything in your 40s thinking that the next generation is going to come and help you. If I had
Yes.
specifically told my son or daughter, I'm a surgeon, I don't think it would have worked at all. It is just our good fortune that these children decided to take up ophthalmology in spite of what they saw in us. And then it succeeded and it just worked out for us. And I think that applies to all of us, all four of us panelists, and it's good for us. But please don't force them to do something against their wishes. In case a child is brilliant, wants to pursue arts or wants to become an engineer, please let them go ahead and do it. Because anytime you make them do something against their wishes, is going to lead to failure. And that's if it happens, that's great. You have something to look forward to. And as far as learning from teaching the youngsters and learning from them is concerned, I think you have to, it does come automatically. The initial few years, they are well equipped as far as the surgical quality is concerned. They're depending on where they qualified from. But there is a certain amount of learning as far as the technology and techniques are concerned. More importantly, the practice of ophthalmology is what they learn from you. But going forward, their thought process, their horizons are completely different. And you must learn to let go and give them opportunity. All the time, if you're trying to control, what you're trying to do is thinking that it is my place, my institution, I know best. Allow them, give them the freedom to flower. And as was mentioned, whether it's artificial intelligence, whether it's digital marketing, or whether even expanding to further centers, some of them have a much greater vision. For example, if I'm very active working almost 10 to 12 hours today, is essentially because of the fire in the belly that my son has. Given a choice, I might have slowed down a bit. I would not have stopped practicing, but might have settled down, not expanded. Since he wants to go forward, I'm encouraging him and giving him the inputs, giving him the guidance so that he can do it in a more methodical manner. I think more than us, you should look at the way the transition has happened in Arvind Hospital, whom I consider as one of the world's best examples as far as development in ophthalmology is concerned. Their success story is individually they have integrated technology and commercial success, but also the fact that they have consistently, first generation, second generation, third generation, identified ophthalmologists inside the family, outside the family, nurtured them, expanded in a very calculated manner, and made a success out of it. I think process of suction is extremely important in any business. There's hardly any business in the top 500, top 50 Fortune companies which have survived on to the third generation. And if you want what you do today to succeed in the generations to come, I think succession planning is extremely important. And if you're fortunate enough to have a youngster come from the family coming into it, that's great. Even otherwise, you can nurture people from outside and let the institution grow.
Great, sir. Luthra, sir. Actually, I met one of your students who has come back to Pune and has started practice. And in fact, I invited him to give a small talk for younger generation, and he was fantastic, Dr. Pranav. So I want from you, I want from you, like, how do you culture those qualities? Such a great student he is from you in these youngsters. Yeah, please.
Right. So I think always what I've learned in the last few years is that the younger generation is way smarter than us in many things. They learn things much faster. For example, if I took 2 3 years to master FACO, they can do that in 1 year or 6 months, or even newer things. I mean, most things that they tend to adopt newer technology, newer techniques, and even their way of thinking and approaching problem solving and everything. They are kind of very quick to learn. So I think we should always encourage them because they have a lot of talent and they have a lot of fire in their belly as well, those who want to learn. And always encourage them to come forward, present, and have confidence in them. So I think we should not start getting bogged down thinking that, oh, this guy is too junior or this girl is too junior, and they will take long periods to learn. They learn very fast as long as you give them the correct guidance and the correct opportunity, and of course, put them on the correct path. They will learn much faster. So I think, as you also said about, I am very passionate about teaching, and I have fellowships programs. So I have a few fellows, and then I enjoy interacting with them. In fact, I learn a lot of things. We tend to give out topics to them, and we have 2 sessions almost every week. And there are things which I want to learn upon, and I tell my fellows to prepare, on these 2 topics, and then that helps me because then I have to prepare as well. And then when we have the interaction, a lot of new things come up and I learn along the way. So I think it's always a mutual learning. When you sit with youngsters, you tend to think and start thinking more like them. And I think it's an asset because as we grow, we tend to keep thinking that the way we think is always right. But when you sit with a lot of the younger colleagues and interact with them, you start seeing their viewpoint, and many times those viewpoints are different, and they may be actually better in some ways for certain things, and you tend to evolve yourself as well. So having confidence in them, and for the next generation, like my children are ophthalmologists too, and I interact with them, and I give them due space, and they are obviously very hardworking, and they are quite sharp as well. So you have to have that nurturing ability and confidence in the younger generation.
Thank you, sir. Anaka, your mother-in-law is also an ophthalmologist, right?
Yes, yes.
So you joined an ophthalm family, I would say. And now your son is also an ophthalmologist. So how do you see the changes that are happening? Or how do you cope up with that, with both the generations?
Yes, she is an ophthalmologist, but the best thing was the day I started practice, she said she wanted to stop practice. So, best in the sense, the reason why I'm saying that is, see, each generation have their own set of ideas, their own set of thoughts, own set, way of working. Now, from her side, I mean, had she continued, maybe we would have grown in a different way. She had her blessings, we had her goodwill, but for whatever reason she wanted to stop working. I had asked her, requested her for 3 months to continue because my baby was just 3 months old. But after that, I was like literally thrown into the water कि चल अभी कर जो करना है. So that, I actually started it from scratch, from whatever platform I got, and then I developed my own vision, own way of working. Yes, by trial and error, and with her guidance, with whatever I could get from her and my father-in-law and parents. Fortunately, the family was very supportive, and because I was free to take my own decisions, and with whatever training I had, I put that into my practice. I actually developed it in the way I wanted. With God's grace, everything went well. Similarly, now when my son, he has not yet joined me, but definitely in the next few years, once he joins me, I'm glad that he has now got a platform. So I feel whatever difficulties we went through, our children should also not go through the same set of difficulties. They will have different set of problems, but we should give them the space to do whatever they want to do, their vision, their thoughts. Maybe we should not overburden them with our way of working. That is one thing. Secondly, regarding the earlier question which you were mentioning, what not to underestimate, what I feel is we should never underestimate our own or our staff's willpower and abilities. Many times you feel a particular staff is not worth it or not really able or capable of something, but once the responsibility is given and you motivate, you will be surprised to see how they actually come up and do really very well. Only thing is we should be ready to work extremely hard, we and our uh, team together. So once that is there and you have the passion to work, I think we can do really well.
Over to you, Anamika.
So mesmerized with listening to Anna madam. Okay. Next question is to Gaurav Luthra sir. Ki, sir, you are deeply involved in refractive surgical practice where outcomes are constantly scrutinized. Would you like to share any of your experience? Which bold risk did you take which that paid off? Any such of your experience, sir?
So I think, yeah, because refractive surgery has been evolving. I've been doing it for about 25 years now, I think. And I've seen the way it has evolved, and it's always been a little bit of a risk taking because, we've gone through procedures, and every time a new technology came, adopting that new technology and, not knowing whether it's going to succeed or not, it was always a risk. And these things always brought out, you had to have that gut feeling that this is going to do well. For example, when there was a procedure called conductive keratoplasty which came along, then there was the camera inlay. So we had to kind of, I think Dr. Mahipal sir and Ramurthy sir here will also agree, and even Dr. Anaka, because they're all prolific refractive surgeons. We had to take a call, and whenever you adopt a new technology, you are not sure whether that's really going to succeed. You evaluate and do everything to understand. So we ordered in a CK machine, and we did have the good luck that we had told them that we are going to do this, test it out, and if it doesn't, so within the first 3-4 months of using it, I realized that this is not something that is going to succeed. And we were lucky because we had the understanding with the company that we will only keep it if it translates into good things. On the other hand, risk of taking the Vizumax, I'm in a very small practice sitting in Dehradun where we have very limited drainage areas. So doing a big refractive practice here is not the easiest of things. So investing in a Visumax about 10 years back was a big risk. Of course, I had the good, opportunity that Dr. Maipal was the pioneer. He had already started using, and he built my confidence that Gaurav, don't worry, it's showing great results. And Sri Ganesh told me that it's doing well. I was analyzing it for a good 1.5, 2 years because investing that money in Dehradun was not easy compared to a Delhi or a Bangalore or Coimbatore. Dr. Ramamurthy gave me a lot of good advice. I remember him telling me that Gaurav, yes, it's good, but be careful. Don't invest if you feel that your return is not going to be commensurate. It's not the most important thing in refractive surgery at the moment. This was 10 years back. Today, I think we are all doing lenticular a lot. But I took that risk, and it paid off because I could differentiate myself from all the practices in a radius of about a couple of 100 kilometers, and then the practice grew. Today I end up doing almost 70% of my refractive volume as of the laser refractive volume as Smile for that reason, and it has helped me grow. It has brought me more prestige, and sometimes you have to take those in refractive surgery, as you said. Everything doesn't pay off, and some things will not pay off, and then you have to be willing to accept that certain things don't take the fancy of people in that sense. So I think I don't have a clear example, but these are a couple of things that I could mention. And again, some bit of risk taking and some bit of gut feeling.
Yeah, that's true, sir. Ramurthy, sir, similar experience we would like to hear from you also. What bold risk that you had taken that paid off, sir?
I think I won't say it's a single risk or anything. I would say again a calculated decision in the sense that whether it was the purchase of the examer laser, then incorporating the optics technology, then buying a femtosecond laser, then adapting to phakic intraocular lenses, then the topo-guided PRKs and other things. And then, of course, the lenticle procedure. Now incorporating multiple platforms it's been a gradual progression. At each step, you wait and decide that you're mature enough for the next. Never be the first one to necessarily adapt the technology. At the same time, don't wait for it to become overripe. You have to time it right and according to your own individual capability, take the machine at the right time. I think Gaurav brought about this example of conductive keratoplasty. I was also told, you buy this machine, all 40 years old are going to line up outside your hospital. I did the same thing, said I'll try it out for 3 months. I kept it there, and then I found that it's not really working. Whatever little treatment effect is there, that regresses. This same company went to a nearby ophthalmologist and said that Dr. Ramurthy is having it. Now you're losing out on something. You can't survive without it. Unfortunately, that gentleman paid my good money and paid for it and got the machine. Maybe that was the need for the company to show me the machine. So that way, you have to be very careful about the decisions you take. For example, right now, I'm seriously evaluating Wavelight Plus. I'm constantly told that's a better technology. Some of our colleagues are saying that it works well. But I don't know how I'm going to improve the delta of results better than what it is now when already 99% of our patients are quite happy. And I have to not just the initial investment, but per patient, I have to charge 40,000 rupees more. So just because it's the latest does not mean that I have to jump into it. I'm seriously looking into press beyond 8, 10 years back. I was not even considering it. But now I think it has reached a level of maturity. So hearing from people around you, evaluating your own practice, evaluate what exactly you have in the reserve to invest. All these are combined factors that you can take into consideration for every decision, not just in refractive surgery, but every facet of your practice.
Thank you, sir. I know all our leaders have to leave at 6:15 and they have mentioned. I request all the participants to start their videos. And my last concluding question to Maipal sir is how challenging it was to be president of AIOS, especially during COVID time. Sir, it was the same time when I was president of Pune Ophthalmological Society, and we know how tough it was. So I just want to listen from you because it was for a century. The challenge was like nobody had faced it before. I request all participants to start their videos, please. We'll have a group photograph. Yeah.
So I think before the challenge for COVID, I would wish to develop my biggest challenge was in the year 1996, when I decided to quit All India Institute of Medical Sciences. and I did not have any place to practice. I still hadn't, but I had taken a decision that I'm going to quit. And just before quitting, I think there was one private practitioner who called me to home to his home for dinner, and he said that you do phacoemulsification. You please come and do shadow surgeries of phacoemulsification in my place, so that we can project phacoemulsification. And I instantaneously thanked him for the dinner, for the drinks, and I said no. If I have to succeed, I have to jump and I have to jump fully. आधा पौना कहते हैं पंजाबी में, आधा पौना नहीं होता, होगा तो पूरा होगा, आधा पौना नहीं होगा. So that was, and that particular time, no clinic for my own, just had Apollo as a part-time consultant that was there. And I had just become the chairman of the scientific committee of All India Institute of Medical Sciences in the year 1996. तो सर मुंडाते ओले पड़े, in the sense that there were no emails, there was nothing. You had to send letters to people to say कि भाई कोर्स लेना है, ये करना है, वो करना है. So that was one of the most challenging things, that you just setting up a practice, you're doing, you left All India, as you said, secure, and you kind of have also the chairman scientific committee. So that was one of my challenging times to actually, and I was 38 years of age and I didn't have a great bank balance. So anyway, now coming to your question about COVID, yes, I think COVID washed out all my trips that I could have possibly made as president of All India Institute of as AIOS. But what was important at that particular thing was that the fear that was there for everybody as to what is going to happen. I had to kind of use all my imagination, all my prowess under me to kind of keep the flock. And I think these webinars that are happening today, they came into vogue at that particular time. And also whether it was to get CMC exemptions, AMC exemptions, whether to have the
Yes.
cost reduced, whether to make out guidelines for people as to what they should be doing, which patients, etc., lobby with the government. I think so. That was again a great experience, different from what the normal AIOS presidents would have done. Indeed, a challenging time. I think some of us didn't survive that. Some people we lost, unfortunately, but all of us came out with a resilience. And that's the time when we learned the word called as uh, not just anti-fragile, but something that you are able to bounce back and do better than before. So I think it was a great time. And with the support of all the members of AIOS and the executive at governing council at that particular time, we were able to help our fellow ophthalmologist take over or get out of the. And mind you, after my chairman scientific committee finishing in 1999, that was the first election that I had fought. I had totally not been part of any political part of AIOS for more than what, 20 years, 23 years. And then suddenly I came back and again, sir mundate ole pade.
Great, great, sir. Over to you, Dr. Preeti and Dr. Anagha, madam, for your concluding remarks, and Dr. Anamika.
So
Thank you.
that was
Yeah.
okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Anagha.
Thank you so much to all our respected panelists, Dr. Maipal sir, Dr. Ramurthy sir, Dr. Gaurav sir. I think all your inputs and your shared experience have really left us wiser, and I think all of us have benefited from all these inputs. And really, we value the time that you have given us, and it will take us a long way. We cherish these moments today. Thank you so much.
So again, as a secretary, I thank all of you. It was a very concentrated cocktail of wisdom. And so imbibe this, watch this video to all the listeners. Watch this video again and again. Every time you will have something which you have missed. And point by point, you can implement whatever the great personalities said. Dr. Mahipal, Dr. Gaurav Luthra, Dr. Ramamurthy, and of course, Dr. Anaga Herur is going to be there for the rest of the meeting. But I thank the three of you for sparing your precious time and enlightening our very young LDP members. So thank you once again and meet you again at AIOS.
Thank you so much for inviting us, and I must congratulate MOS, Dr. Anaga's leadership, and the whole MOS team for organizing amazing educational initiatives of a different kind not the run-of-the-mill initiatives. And please keep up the great work. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Good day
Our
to you.
pleasure
Thank
being
you,
here.
sir.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you
Bye.
for.
Yes.
I also have to leave for the railway station.
I
I
understand.
will join on the way if it's possible, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank
I'll
you.
join again, but now I'm leaving. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Bye.
to now
Thank you.
invite, thank you, Preeti.
Bye.
We'd like to now invite Dr. Anuradha Tote. She's a brilliant mind and has a very good knack of leadership. She's been taking leadership training programs all over the country and even internationally. And we have the good fortune of her leading this session today, leadership lessons from the Mahabharata. So over to you, Dr. Anuradha, for your session.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Anagha ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. I would just like to say that it is a big challenge to speak after all these stalwarts have given their wonderful experiences. Rather, we have got the learnings from their experiences, and that is what we are going to cherish. And I also thank MOS, Anagha ma'am, Preeti ma'am, Anamika ma'am, and Gitanjali ma'am, and the whole team for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And one request to all of you is please put your cameras on because it is going to be an interactive session. I request all of you to please put your cameras on. I want to see your charming faces. Come on. Very few cameras on still. Okay. Yes, everyone, please. And you have to be very active in the chat box because if we want this session to be successful, I would request everyone to be very active in the chat box and cameras on, please. Yes. So we have learned a lot from the stalwarts, and now we are going to learn from the Mahabharata, right? So to begin with, first I would request Anamika ma'am or Gitanjali ma'am, whoever is here, that please tell me when 7 minutes are still there for my presentation, okay? I mean, the end of it, okay? Yeah, so should I start, Anagha ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Please, yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, like I will give my introduction that I am an ophthalmologist who gives vision along with sight. So I am a motivational speaker, a life coach, and an ophthalmologist. And fortunately, I had the opportunity to train thousands, like maybe like 12,000 or plus people all over India and 7 other countries. So I'm really fortunate to share my thoughts with you, and I'm going to learn from you too today. So it is going to be an interactive session. All are ready for that? Are you ready for that? A thumbs up, please. Yes, your camera's on, everyone. Fine. Yeah, so we'll start with a small activity. Your right hand out. You have to do what I say. Okay? You have to do what I say. Your right hand out. Everyone, please, everyone. Your right hand out, turn it to the right, put it back. You have to do what I say. Okay? Yes, your right hand out, turn it to the right and put it back. Your right hand out, turn it to the right and put it back. Your right hand out, turn it to the right and put it back. Your right hand out, turn it to the right and put it back. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Yes. So a leader has to be a listener. I said, what you have to do what I say. Don't look at me what I am doing. So many people were putting their hand up, right? So yes, please be a good listener and you will eventually become a very good leader. Yeah, so we begin with the topic. Let me try to share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So yes, we start with leadership lessons from Mahabharata. Ano bhadro kratavo yantu vishwataha. So let noble thoughts come from all over the universe, from everywhere. Let us keep on learning and let us keep on upgrading ourselves. So, learning from Mahabharata, of course, this epic, say Ramayana or Mahabharata, thousands of years ago, Mahabharata was written by Sage Vyas. Not even written by Sage Vyas. I can say that his thoughts were put in by Ganpati. Ganpati wrote it. So these are wonderful epics. We have great opportunities to learn from them because they provide wonderful insights, and those are relevant even today. Okay, so we all know about Mahabharata, that there are so many learnings from it, at the spiritual level, at the philosophical level, leadership lessons, of course. And we know that it was a dynastic struggle. It was a struggle for power between the two families, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, the two royal families. But there are so many things we can learn: ethics part, the moral part, the philosophical part, the leadership part. So we can learn so many things from them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a sentence or maybe a word, and you have to guess that character. Once you guess that character, I will tell you about what to do or what not to do as a leader. So I pity the blind and the blindfolded. So please write in the chat box, everyone, which character is this, or which characters are these? Everyone, write in the chat box, please. Dhritarashtra, very good. What else? And who else? Dhritarashtra and who else? Dhritarashtra, you're correct. And Gandhari. Wonderful, wonderful. So I want everyone to be very active in the chat box. Yes. So Dhritarashtra was not only physically blind, but he was also blind to the facts that he was so much in love with his son, Duryodhan. Right? He was so much in love with his son that his wrongdoings also he used to overlook. And that because of that, what devastating results were there and what failures they had to face. And the same thing with Gandhari. She was so much in love with her son that the same thing happened. So you shouldn't be blind towards what is happening in your organization or in your company, in your hospital. Whoever it is, it might be your kith and kin doing something wrong, but still you have to be, you have to be vigilant, and you must know that, okay, for example, if you have a medical shop of your own, or say an optical shop of your own, and there are some problems going on in the optical shop, someone close to you, your cousin is creating a problem. So you must know about that. And as a leader, not only knowing but also taking action against that person is very important. So you have to keep your eyes wide open and take action. Right? Yes. So it was Gandhari and Dhritarashtra. So always remember, real eyes, realize, real lies, and then take action also. Yeah. Now this is very, very easy. So I want everyone to answer. I'm best known for my focus. Who is best known for his focus? Yes, everyone in the chat box, please be active in the chat box. Anamika ma'am, please help me with the chat box. What answers are coming up?
Arjun.
Yes.
Arjun,
Obvious
Arjun,
answer is
Most of
Arjun.
them have
Most of them have answered
Yes,
Arjun. Yes. So Arjun is the correct answer, of course. And there'll be many more. Actually, yes. Before I really start, I would like to say that Mahabharata has so many interpretations, and so many religions and so many cultures, that everyone will have a different opinion on the same point. But that is fine. You and me both can be correct. And we are just trying to extract leadership lessons, and we are going to learn from them. That is what our aim is today, right? Yes. So focus. Of course, focus is very important for a leader. if you're focused at what you want, you most of us might have seen 12th Fail, that movie by, I think, Vikrant Messe was the lead, was playing the lead role, and Manoj Kumar Sharma, it was his that person who was shown, the IAS officer, and he was this person, that small boy from a village. He had no background, no one educated, and financially they were not at all good, but still he had the aim of becoming an IAS officer, and he overcame all the challenges, all the obstacles, and finally he became the IAS officer. So that is how you have to be very focused, so that even when obstacles come your way, you can just overcome them, because you are focused that, okay, I want this, so whatever, I'll do anything. Maybe I won't get food to eat, or maybe he वो तो चक्की में भी रहा था ना, लाइक वो इतना उसके पास पैसे नहीं थे, तो he was shown that in the library he was working, झाड़ू पोछा लगाने से, everything he did, but he wanted to become the IAS officer. So late night he used to sit and read, and finally he became an IAS officer. So similarly, whatever your focus is, you want to become an academician, you want to become a great surgeon, or you want to become an academician, a great surgeon, a private practitioner, a chain of hospitals, whatever is your aim, just be focused, and I'm sure you're going to do it, because all the obstacles you can overcome if you have that focus in mind. Okay. Yes, so that is great. Arjun. Yeah. Now this is a very interesting one. Myopia can lead to complications. I want everyone to answer, please. Myopia can lead to complications. So here, what I mean to say is, who was myopic? What is myopia? We know. Short-sighted, right? So who was myopic? Everyone, please write your views in the chat box.
Bhishma, someone
So
is
sorry.
writing Bhishma.
So sorry. Think of something else.
Someone has written Pandu. Someone has
Pandu,
written
Sanjay.
Sanjay.
Sanjay had Divya Drishti. No, not Sanjay. मायोपिया था उसको. मायोपिया मतलब क्या, दूर का नहीं दिखता है ना? Yes. Can you think in some other way, everyone, please? Karna. No, so sorry. Now, okay. Since you have said Karna, somewhere near to Karna.
Shakuni also one. Dr. Shilpa has replied
Okay.
Shakuni.
Shakuni.
Duryodhan, Arundhati Pandey has
Wonderful.
replied.
Who said Duryodhan?
Arundhati Pandey.
Arundhati. A huge round of applause for you. Great. Yes. Yes, Duryodhan was myopic. Why do I say that? Because, just a second. Yeah. So why do I say that? Because he was given the choice that he can choose either Krishna or he can choose the Narayani Sena. So Krishna, the divine power, wisdom, strategy, everything this person has, but still he chose Narayani Sena. So you have to have that vision. You have to have that vision, so that you take you make the best choice for yourself and then go ahead. So you can't be and second thing was, even just before the war, what happened? These Pandavas, they went to the Kauravas with a peace offer, that okay, now we want a peace, let us not fight. That time also he said, no, we are going to fight, because I am going to win. And he was wrong, because he did not know how much power these people had, and how many weapons they had. So he was wrong on his part. He was always myopic, and that led to his failure. So you shouldn't be myopic as a leader. Yes. The next one. Eyes are the mirror of your soul. This is a little difficult one. Can anyone guess? Now, by this, what I mean is, I mean something about ethics, about righteousness. Yeah, please write in the chat box, whatever you feel, no issues. You and me both can be correct, okay? Yeah, so please write whatever you feel.
most of them are answering as Yudhishthir.
Oh, wonderful.
One doctor
Wonderful.
is
Yes. Wonderful. Yes, Yudhishthir. Dharmraj. Now, dharma here means righteousness. Okay. So he was known for his righteousness, his ethics. So this this Dharmaraj or Yudhishthir, after they won the war and he became the king and he ruled for 36 years, and then all of them started going towards heaven. So one by one, everyone was falling down, but Yudhishthir was going ahead. He was going ahead, but as soon as they started this journey, one dog was accompanying them, right? And at the gate, as the gates of the heaven opened, and Yudhishthir was about to go inside, he saw that the dog was accompanying them since long, since they started the journey. And when Lord Indra said that you are most welcome to heaven, he said, I will not come. You are supposed to take the dog also with me, because this dog has accompanied me since long. So he was full of morals, full of principles, and he was so ethical in everything. Even during adverse conditions, he was very ethical. So similarly, if a patient comes to you with little cataract, minimum cataract, and you say no, it is very urgent and you have to get yourself operated now, this patient will go and show 10 other doctors, and some of them will say no, it is not urgent, you can do it later also, you can come after 5 months, you can come up after 6 months. So now this patient, you are losing not only this patient, but you are losing his relatives, and you are losing his friends and so many people, right? So you have to be very ethical, and once you are ethical, and you start practicing, slowly but surely you're going to progress. So being ethical is so very important as a doctor, as an ophthalmologist, right? So we can learn that from Yudhishthir. Yes. Now this is another interesting one. I don't possess tunnel vision, but can make you go through the tunnel. If you can remember Mahabharata, which is this character? Yes, ma'am. Are we getting answers?
not yet.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Arundhati Pandey has written as Krishna.
Krishna will
But,
come later on. Krishna will come later on. He was doing the
not.
whole thing actually.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
he'll come later on.
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay, I'll give you a clue. This person was known for his strength. Now this is a very clear clue. This is Beam. Very good,
Beam.
very good. Yes, wonderful. So I'm getting answers now. Beam, yes. So uh, the Varnavat Palace was made, which was very beautiful, and it was again the idea of Duryodhan, because he wanted to kill all these Pandavas, and then he said that all the Pandavas, please go and have a vacation there. It is very beautiful. You will love it. You will relax there and everything. And Pandavas knew about it, but still they went there. And then because they had the idea that Duryodhan is going to have something, his mind is so cruel that he is planning something, and there is some conspiracy, and they are going to trap us. So what they did is they went and took the round of the whole palace, and they smelt something, and then they came to know that it is made of wax and everything which is inflammable. So with the help of a very devoted person, a very devoted artisan, that artisan, Bhim told him how to dig the tunnel, and then a tunnel was dug. He actually did the tunnel, and which opened in the forest far away from that place. And that night itself, when they and this Bhim, he guided all of them, all the five Pandavas, the five Pandavas and Draupadi and everyone. They left the palace, and then uh, there was fire and everything was destroyed, and everyone thought that the Pandavas died. So it was because of Bhim that they could escape. And it is the strength, the resourcefulness, whatever you have. Someone of you may have knowledge, someone has skill. So all these strengths you have to use for your own benefit, for your own benefit, and you have to sharpen your skills so that you keep on becoming better leaders. We have seen Sundar Pichai. He is so very well known for his knowledge. So he uses his knowledge and his power of delegation, and he's taking Google to such heights. So all these things are relevant even today. So these are the learnings from Bhim. Yes. Now this is a very clear one. Eyes are donated after death. Can you think of someone who embraced death as per his wish? Yes. Please write in the chat box.
Bhishma. Many of them are answering as Bhishma. Abhijna, Shraddha, Sneha, Rohit Modi.
Very
Many
good,
of them
very
are
good.
falling with the answers. Bhishma.
Yes, very good. Bhishma Pitamaha, right? Bhishma Pitamaha, like when he was Devrat, like in the earlier years, for his father Shantanu, what he did is he took a vow which is called as Bhishma Pratigya. That is called as Bhishma Pratigya. And what was that Pratigya? He said that he will remain celibate and he will renounce his right to the throne. He will never sit on the throne, but he will serve the throne. Okay? And bole taisa chale, tachi vandavi pavole. He was a person that he made this promise and then he lived up to it till the very end. Till the very end. So, whatever promises you make nowadays, what we see is politicians make very big promises, but they don't deliver. Nothing is delivered. They just make promises when they want votes, and then they don't deliver. So you don't respect such leaders. And maybe in the second round, they won't even be leaders. We will choose someone else as leaders. So, in the process of becoming a leader, please remember that whatever you promise, there may be small things, big things. If suppose you promise a pay hike for your staff, so please stick to your word. Please stick to your word that okay, you have promised them that you're going to make a pay hike every year, so please make a pay hike every year, or whatever is your promise. Or you take a camp and then you say that okay, in the camp all the patients will get the spectacles also, but later on people don't give spectacles. I mean, this is not the way you should do it. If you are a good leader, you should stick to whatever you have said. So walk the talk. We have seen Jacinda Ardern, right? The former president of New Zealand. She in her speeches she talked so much about empathy. She talked about children. She talked about the climate, and really she implemented it. She has implemented it in a way that she has policies for poverty, for child safety, for zero carbon. So this is the way you must implement things. So just don't say, but do it. So walk the talk, please. Yes. This is also very easy, I think. Eye donation is a noble gesture. Not everyone is a giver. Yes. So who can it be?
Karna. Vishakha has replied Karna.
Wonderful. I want everyone to be active. Yes, very good. Karna,
Ajinkya
very obvious.
Kulkarni.
Yeah, to
Purva.
become a great leader, you have to be magnanimous. You have to be a giver. Keep on giving. We all know that Karna was दानशूर ना दानशूर आपण म्हणतो का कर्णाला दानशूर म्हणतो like when Lord Indra came to Karna as he was disguised as a Brahmin, and he said that you have to give me your kavach kundal. So kavach was the armor which was for his safety, and Karna knew it very well. But still, he did not hesitate. He did not hesitate a moment. He just removed the kavach kundal and he gave it to the Brahmin. So this is the way he was so generous. He gave everything he had, in spite of knowing that it was for his own safety. So you have to be once you get to that level. Now, suppose Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, when they were together, in one of his speeches at the Harvard University, what Bill Gates had said that we are always thinking of this thing that how many people can we really help with in the maximum possible way with whatever resources we have. So that is a great thought. Maximum people and in a maximum way also. So in this way, once you grow, now suppose what you can give, you will always think that what can we give? We don't have anything. But yes, we have knowledge, we have skills. You can teach someone to make a tunnel. You can teach someone FACO. Whatever little skills we have, we can teach someone about the hospital management skills. So whatever we have, we can give people. Later on, of course, you can do the rehabilitation of blind people or so many other things. So as a leader, I think you must be a giver. Yes. So this is Karna. Okay. The eyelids protect my eyes. Can you get a clue on this? I mean, let me see what you write in the chat box, and then I will give you another clue if it doesn't work. Yes. What answers are we getting, ma'am?
Not up till, madam.
Okay. Everyone, please.
No
Okay.
answer.
One clue I'll give. Concentrate on the word protect. Now this is very easy. Concentrate on the word protect. Okay, one more clue. Who was protected? Now this is very easy.
Krishna.
Krishna,
Draupadi, Arjun. These are the responses we are getting.
Draupadi. Yes,
Draupadi.
Ajinkya and Shraddha.
Shraddha, no, Draupadi.
Yes, and so many people. Yeah, wonderful. Yes, Draupadi. Draupadi was protected by Krishna at the right time. Because when these Kauravas, especially Duryodhan, and Dushasan also, so she was dragged to the court. He caught her hair and she was dragged to the court, and she was humiliated in a very bad way, and they were trying to derobe her. At that moment, she was praying to Lord Krishna, and none of the elders, not Bhishma Pitamaha, not Dronacharya, not Kripacharya, not Dhritarashtra, not this one, Gandhari, no one came to her help, but the divine power. Divine power came to her help, and that saved her that day. So, if you are connected to the divine power by prayer, by meditation, by whatever way you want, but please get connected to the divine power always, and you will see that all your challenges will seem to be, easy. All the challenges, of course, you have to deal with it yourself, but that power will give you the direction. So, always be connected. And it is not just once that you pray to God, and that's fine. One Sadhvi, she had come to my hospital, and I was just discussing with her. She was a learned Sadhvi, okay? And I was just discussing little spirituality with her after her eye examination. So I just told her that, it is a discipline. I do meditation since so many years, like 22 years, and I'm getting miraculous results. But I said, how do I improve? So she asked me one question, that how many times do you eat in a day, she said. So I said, I have breakfast, I have lunch, I have dinner. And then she said, how many times do you pray or you connect to the higher power? I said, I do it very religiously at least once. So she said, you have food 3 times in a day at least, and you connect to God only once. So what she meant to say is, keep on connecting to the higher power whenever you have time, in between the patients, or while you're doing your household chores or whatever. You have few seconds, just connect, and you'll get the power. This way you become mentally strong and you become very positive. So you can handle challenges very well. Okay. Yes. Just let me know about the time, ma'am. Yeah. So we have seen how Krishna came to help Draupadi at the right hour, right moment. Yes. So all the eye muscles work together to align my eyes. I'm not talking about one person now. Whom am I talking about? Are we getting answers? Everyone in the chat box, please. Pandavas, very good, very good. Yes, great, brilliant people. Huh? Wonderful. Yes, I'm talking about the Pandavas and their unity. It was very remarkable unity they had, the way they sat together, they made strategies, how they earned the weapons from different devatas, and the tremendous efforts they took to do all this. Not only that, see, one incident which I remember is after Yudhishthir lost his kingdom, he lost all his property, the whole of his kingdom, his brothers, and Draupadi also, to that game of dice, right? And then they were sent to exile. Now, when they were sent to exile, obviously Draupadi was very frustrated. She was very angry. She was insulted. She was angry. She was furious. And yes, of course, it'll be so. And she was so angry that she started shouting at Yudhishthir that how can you do this? And Bhim was also very aggressive. His personality was that way. He was very aggressive. But that moment, Arjun stepped in and he said that, see, Yudhishthir is Dharmaraj. Whatever he has done for the right. Whatever was right at that moment, he did it. So now we have to be there with him. So even during during all these adversities, also they were together, all of them, and then that is how they could, win the war, because they were always together, and each one was there for all of them. So that is wonderful. Yeah. Now this is very easy, extremely easy. The visionary. Who's the visionary?
We are getting answers. Krishna.
Yes, very obvious, but thank you so much for your answers. Wonderful. Yes, Krishna. Actually, the whole game was because like he played as a god, but what we learned in his human form is wonderful leadership styles he played. Okay, wonderful leadership styles. See, when Jarasandh and Bhima, actually Jarasandh chose Bhim to fight, right? So when both of them were fighting, what was happening was Bhim used to kill Jarasandh. He used to kill Jarasandh, and as he killed Jarasandh and his body was put on the earth, what happened is the body again reunited. He used to make two pieces, and the body got reunited again and again. So Bhim did not know what to do. So he just looked up to Krishna. And what Krishna did was he took a small stick and he broke the stick. And then what he did was he placed the sticks in different directions. He threw it in different directions. And then Bhim got the clue that, okay, then he made he killed Jarasandh and made two pieces of his body, and then he put them in different directions. He threw them in different directions, and then he could kill Jarasandh. So this was the manipulative style of leadership. Okay. And as we all know that Arjun was not ready for the war. When he came there for the war, he saw his relatives, he saw Bhishma Pitama, he saw his guru Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and all his relatives. Even though Kauravas were against Pandavas always, but still they were cousins. So all those relatives and friends, and he said, no, I'm not going to, I can't see, I won't be able to see the bloodshed. I won't be able to kill these people. So I'm not going to do the war. So what Krishna did was, he used the authoritative style of leadership, and he said that, do you know what a Kshatriya should do? What is his duty? His duty should come before emotions. So your duty as a Kshatriya is to start the war, and you have to participate in the war. So this way he used the authoritative style. Then when the war was going on, what happened is Dronacharya, the guru, he was the guru of all the Kauravas and the Pandavas, right? And they had learned so many things from Guru himself. So Guru was great. So Dronacharya was, of course, he was a great warrior. So there was so much bloodshed. Once he started his action on the battlefield, there was so much of bloodshed, and all the Pandavas were suffering because the army, first they had a very small army, and all the people were getting killed. All the soldiers were getting killed. So they didn't know what to do. So what Krishna said is, he told Bhim that you kill the elephant. That elephant was named as Ashwathama. And he knew the weak point of Dronacharya. The weak point of Dronacharya was his son, Ashwathama. So once that elephant called Ashwathama was killed, he told that Yudhishthir, because Yudhishthir was known for his righteousness, right? So he told Yudhishthir to say that Ashwathama hatahaha, and in a very soft tone, he said Kunjarao. Kunjarao is the elephant. So the elephant was said in a very soft tone. So that was lost in the hustle and bustle of the noise of the battlefield. But Ashwathama hataha, that Ashwathama is killed. This was heard by Dronacharya, and he laid down his weapons. He lost all his cool, and he was very, very grief stricken. And then it was very easy for the Pandavas to kill Dronacharya. So this was the participative style of leadership. The participation from Bhim to kill the elephant, the participation from Yudhishthir to say this, all this was planned by Krishna, the visionary, right? So you have to keep on using different styles of leadership in different situations. Then one more example, as we all know, that both Arjun and Duryodhan went to Krishna once they decided to have the war. So Krishna was sitting, Krishna was on his bed, and at his feet Arjun was sitting, and at his head end Duryodhan was sitting. So he gave the choice. That was freedom of choice, actually. Krishna gave the choice that what you want, whether you want the Narayani Sena or you want Krishna, you want me alone. But the challenge was that he will come. Of course, he has the wisdom, he has the strategies, everything, but he will come and he will not even use a single weapon. That he told. But he gave them the choice that you choose whatever you want. So Duryodhan chose the Narayani Sena, and Arjun chose Krishna. And that is how the Pandavas could win, because they had the divine power on their side, right? So can we have a recap? Let me see if I can play the video. But okay, first let's have we have time. Do we have 5 minutes or so? Okay, yeah. So can we have a recap in the chat box? What did we learn? From whom, what did we learn? Please write in the chat box.
Giving from Karna.
Wonderful.
By
Great.
Shilpa Tiwari.
Yes. Wonderful, Shilpa. Lovely answers. Great. Giving from Karna. What else? Yudhishthir being ethical. Yeah. So cataract won't be the most malignant disease, right? इतना सा cataract है नहीं, उसको operate करना ही पड़ता, आज ही करना पड़ता. No. Different leadership styles. Yes, from Krishna.
Focus like Arjun from
Yes.
Abhilasha.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Bhishma, stick to your word.
Yeah, Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma
From
Pratigya, that is called.
Sneha.
Yeah. What else?
Karna, giver.
Yes, Karna was the giver. Be ethical like Yudhishthir. Vision
Dr.
from
Aditya
Krishna.
has replied for Karna, Krishna, Yudhishthir, Arjun and Bhishma.
Wonderful.
5-6 characters, yeah. Dr.
Yes.
Ajinkya Kulkarni.
Yeah. So everyone is so attentive.
Yeah.
They are
Dr.
going to become great leaders. Yes.
Pandavas unity. Dr.
Unity among the
Abhishek is
Pandavas.
writing Duryodhan, don't be short-sighted.
Yes. Myopia. Yes.
Dhritarashtra is remaining. Nobody has written about Dhritarashtra. First one. Keep
Yes,
eyes
that
open to wide action.
Right. Any more answers?
Anuradha madam, it was wonderful presentation as always.
Let me just try to play the video, ma'am, and then we'll wind it up. If we have 2 minutes, do we?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. Let me share the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
You can see the video? Is the video visible?
Please start.
Not yet
Please
playing.
start.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
start. We can see the screen.
Now you can see the video?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Yes. So leadership lessons from Mahabharata. We saw that the leader should not turn a blind eye towards what is going on in his own company, in his own organization, in his own hospital. Right? That we learned from Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. Then we learned that we should be focused. That we learned from Karna. And once you're focused, whether you want to be an academician, a surgeon, a private practitioner, or all of them, you are focused, all the obstacles will just, you can overcome all these challenges and you will definitely reach where you want to, right? Then we saw that always you have to think of the Almighty or be connected to the Almighty so that it becomes very easy, and the higher power is always there to give you the directions. Yeah, that we learned from Draupadi. Bhishma Pratigya, we all know about it. And bole taisa chale, tachi vandavi pavale. So walk the talk. And Bhim, of course, everyone has skills. Some have knowledge, some have skills. So whatever you have to sharpen your skills and use it for your own good and for the good of the people. So, and then we saw that Yudhishthir was so ethical. So as a leader, you need to be ethical. And of course, we cannot forget the visionary, that was Krishna. We have learned the leadership styles like democratic leadership, authoritative leadership from Krishna. And if we imbibe all these qualities, all the traits as a leader, as a person, you will become a great leader. Thank you so much for a very, very patient listening. Can you
Excellent.
hear me still?
Excellent. We should have a big round of applause for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Actually, talking
Very,
after
very
the
nice.
stalwarts
So
was a challenge.
beautifully.
Pardon? Yes, please go ahead.
No, no, not at all. No, two totally different things. You actually recreated Mahabharata in front of our eyes and, brought us back to our school days when we used to read, stories from the Mahabharata. And today we are looking at it with a totally different perspective. We can stop sharing if this is done.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Lovely. We would like to now get the inputs and feedback from all of you. Please keep your videos on and then you can share your feedback on today's session, please. All of you.
We can unmute them.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Yes, of course, please unmute yourselves and feel free to speak. We are towards the end of the session now. Dr. Geetanjali, yes, please.
Yeah. Dr. Ajinkya, would you like to say something?
Yes, ma'am. It was an informative session. Firstly, from the stalwarts, we could learn many leadership skills in challenging situation or any easy situation which we can. And the cherry on the pie was the Anuradha ma'am. She made us look Mahabharata or saw Mahabharata from a different perspective, which we could utilize in our own life. So it was wonderful. Thank you so much, all of you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very nice. There were many questions sent by participants. Because of shortage of time, we could not ask all the questions. But I request Anagha madam that we will have another session where some other visionary leaders we can invite and we can always discuss those questions. Over here, I would also like to tell you that leadership program is always interactive and some challenges or some tasks are given to you. And this year, Dr. Anagha madam has a huge project in her mind and very, very meaningful project, and that is Bal Drishti Abhiyan. Bal Drishti Abhiyan, of course, that we have to implement something to save our children or save our children from childhood blindness. So in this, she expects you to do some projects, either in your clinic, in your hospital, in your district, school health checkup for children. So you can design the project, you can implement it, you can execute it, and then you can present the project to this LDP. So in the last concluding session, the best project will be presented in the MOSCON, and it will be given a prize as well. So please do it. But then LDP is not simple. You are some chosen or selected. You are different from others. We heard today the great visionaries. They are great leaders because they have done something different. So school health checkup can be done even by optometrists. So what is the difference? So you have to find some innovative idea while doing this project. Or maybe you have to tell something awareness things when you go to those schools to do the school health checkup. So something like this, something innovative, you have ample of time. So you should do that, but you should start communicating with us. And that's how we want. It is a two-way thing. It is not just one way that we are telling you something. Today we have learned that all these visionaries also have learned something from youngsters, something from their next generation. Same, even we want to learn something from you. So do something innovative. Over to you, Anamika, to say a few words.
I'm so mesmerized after listening to stalwart leaders, and especially Anuradha madam. I have gone back to Mahabharata days. I have just to say thank you to each and every one of you for making this a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna ma'am, Gitanjali ma'am, Anamika ma'am, and all the participants, all the budding leaders. Thank you so much. Very brilliant people. One thing is that you are all are very brilliant and you are budding leaders. I can see the leadership qualities in you. So please go ahead. All the very best.
Over to you, Dr. Anagha ma'am.
Yeah, great, great. Do we have Dr. Preeti, Dr. Ajay, or Dr. Piyush here? Okay, on behalf of Team MOS, I'd really like to thank Dr. Gitanjali and Dr. Anamika for conducting the panel discussion so smoothly, so beautifully, and Dr. Anuradha for conducting this session so well. And to all our panelists who are there, thank you to all of you participants who were present today and who actually gave us this chance also to have such a lovely panel discussion, and because of which we could listen to Dr. Anuradha. So great Sunday well spent, and happy Sunday evening. And
Yeah,
all
just a moment.
Yes,
Just a moment, Dr. Anaga. There is a query by somebody. Can we include the ROP screening project? Of course, you can.
Of course.
Of course, you can include the ROP screening, but just give us some touch of innovation to it. So that makes your project to go at a very high height.
So, Baladrishti Abhiyan was what I had thought in mind at the beginning of my tenure. I've also requested all MOS members to do maximum school screenings in wherever around in your locality. So it will help to detect early childhood myopia as well as various other childhood disorders. So this is our small way of giving back to the society as an ophthalmologist and as an MOS member. So we'd like to request all of you to contribute, and this can be one of your leadership qualities. So thank you so much and hope you all liked it. And we will come up with many more such modules, and we are also looking forward to our June 6th, 7th. We'll give you more details on it shortly. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Anagha ma'am, for giving us the opportunity from me and my colleague, Dr. Anamika.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ma'am, really want to thank you. It was really great. I just met you for 2 minutes in VOS, and it's like divine blessing. And you made us. Why don't you join? And I'm really feeling so happy because of that. I listened so good. You just not making us leaders in the academics, but as a personal growth also. And the Mahabharata session was the mind blowing. Simply just loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ajinkya, Vishakha, and all the participants. Wonderful participation, actually. The session cannot be successful without the participants. Thank you. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, Gitanjali ma'am and Anamika ma'am, very well conducted. the first session. The questions were put up so well, so we could learn so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Anaga ma'am is a wonderful leader herself.
Yes.
A lot from her.
Actually, they only told me to be part of the panel. Otherwise, I was saying I'm the host, so I cannot really be the.
No, but that was very nice. I mean, I just loved the way you interacted, the way you told us the points. They were so practical. Wonderful.
Correct. Yes. So this was our first module of LDP. So always be interactive even on the WhatsApp group. So many activities, and Anaga madam puts on so beautiful videos, beautiful posts. So just think about it and express yourself on the group as well. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll explain more about Bal Drishti Abhiyan on the group as well. So you start thinking about the project and start doing something innovative.
Okay. Bye.
Okay,
Thank you.
goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a great
Bye,
evening.
everyone.
Bye.